It's August 13th, 2015! It can only mean one thing. Filmed in front of a fake studio audience. It's 27 tonight. Broadcast not really live from a nondescript location. And featuring cinematographer Daniel Fugak, plus everybody's favorite movie reviewing bear, Brownie, and special musical performance by Snail Rainbow. And now, your host and mine, a man whom Conan O'Brien once described in a deposition as mentally unstable,
everybody, hello and welcome to 27 Tonight. I know what you're thinking, Eric, you're turning 29 this year, so why is it called 27 Tonight? Well, I was supposed to do this 2 years ago, never got around to it, but I'm getting around to it now, eventually. Anyway, the biggest problem is I've had to keep rewriting my monologue every year, all my Coney dialogue. It's no good, it's not topical anymore. We were going to have Psy as the musical guest, but nobody cares about Gangnam Style, so I had to tell him to take a hike. He was booked and everything. But that's okay, there's a lot happening in the news, a lot of rich comedy minds to veins to mine. It's the same thing. Let's get started. The Peruvian government is sending scientists into the Amazon jungle to contact the Macho Piro tribe, a tribe completely untouched by Western civilization. At least that's what they say. A spokesman for the tribe says they've been aware of Western civilization for several years and they just don't really want to live in a world where Donald Trump can run for president. A group of police in Beijing recently arrested dozens of men dressed as Spartans who were advertising for a local restaurant. The problem being that they were attracting a crowd. They don't like large crowds in Beijing. They get very touchy about that whole thing. But when reached for comment, the leader of the Spartans said, "This is particularly embarrassing and we apologize to the local police and anyone who NASA has discovered a new planet through their Kepler program. It's called Kepler 452b. It's potentially habitable, a bit larger than our planet, but it could sustain life, which is exciting. It could be a potential home for either us or other alien life forms. Scientists were looking through the telescope at the planet and observing the star of the local solar system. Found that it was 10% larger than our sun. It was 20% brighter than our sun. But they were most surprised when Kanye West stepped into view of the telescope and insisted he was the biggest star in the galaxy. I'm going to let you finish. In other news, a man in New Jersey broke into a woman's house and lived under a bed in the spare room for 3 days before being noticed. 3 days. He went completely unnoticed. And I hate to bring a racial element into this, but the man was African American, and that's a little disappointing given as speaking as a Caucasian of European descent, sneaking into other people's homes and living there without permission is kind of our thing. And finally, there's some tragic news out of Egypt. There was a boat collision, happened on the Nile River. It was one of those freak accidents, an unforeseeable event, an act of God, as they call it. But a local boat captain, unrelated to the incident, he was interviewed and he was quoted as saying, while it's always been dangerous sailing on the Nile, he'd still rather work on the Nile than have to work for Jethro. All right, everybody, stay tuned. We got a great show for you. We've got Daniel Fuchuk coming in. Yeah, it's a good show this year. I'm telling you, we got big guests. We got everybody's favorite movie review critic, Brownie, who's looking forward this year. Coming through. We've got special celebrity guests coming, so who knows who they are? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. And of course, Snail Rainbow. Musical guest Snail Rainbow is going to be performing a song for us live. So that's exciting, right? I know. Alright, so yeah, pretty good show, don't you think? Alright, stay tuned, everybody. Don't go away. We'll be right back after these commercials with more 27 Tonight.
Toothpaste. You put it in your mouth. Toothpaste. And then you brush it out. Toothpaste. Oh yeah, it's toothpaste. Don't worry about brand names. Just buy it. It's toothpaste.
Brought to you by the Ministry of Do What We Say.
Hosted by me and of course my trusty sidekick Tobias Feel Gay. Say hello, Tobias.
Hello.
Well, that was curt. I've actually got two microphones here. I don't know which one to use. I was thinking of using the red one just because it looks cool. What do you think?
You can use it or not.
You know, people might not know this, but I've actually known Tobias going back years. I mean, he was an actor in one of my films, right, Tobias?
I'm an actor.
Yeah, you like my movies, right, Tobias?
I love your movies. I'm a huge fan. I've seen all your work.
Oh, that's very kind. Well, you know what? I like your acting, buddy.
From one actor to another.
Have you been doing a lot of acting lately? Any gigs?
I recently did a commercial for a mango juice, and that went viral. I don't understand why. I didn't get the role, but just merely the part where I said, it's like having a mango in your mouth, seemed to really just everybody loved it. Don't know why.
All right, well, it's time to get on with the show, so...
Without any further ado...
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our first guest, and it is no other than the esteemed film critic, movie reviewer, everybody's favorite bear, Brownie!
Hey, how you doing? How's it going? Yay! Thanks for that. Yeah.
They love you, man. Well, they probably won't love me for much longer. All right, well, what do you got for us, Brownie? I mean, how's the year been? Oh, you know, I'm doing all right. It's been a bit of a bad year for us movie lovers, you know, with all the remakes and the sequels and the rehashes, like so much Hollywood garbage filling up the cinemas. It's enough to make you rethink the whole profession. Oh, come on now, Brownie. It hasn't been that bad. Well, look, this year alone we've had Terminator, crap. We've had Jurassic Park, Ruin, crap. I've only seen a trailer for Star Wars, but it looks like it's going to be crap too. I think you might be being a little pessimistic there, buddy. I mean, Star Wars could be good. I mean, it's Not without George Lucas, it's not going to be. I'll tell you that much right now. Yeah, but I mean, they put Kathleen Kennedy in charge of it, so it can't be all that... Not even the almighty powers of Kathy Kennedy are going to save that film from J.J. Abrams' shaky cam and lens flare. Has anybody ever told you, Brownie, that you're sometimes a little hard to talk to? No. All right, well, there's no change in some people. Or bears, for that matter. By the way, do you know Fozzie Bear?
Oh, I do, but I haven't seen him since the felt shortage of 2006.
Right, so, which movie did you review for us this year? I mean, there are a lot to choose from, but...
Oh, I went to see Jurassic World, mostly because I don't learn, you know. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Good.
So it's another movie you didn't like, then?
Well, to skip all the hoity-toity, flowery language and one-liners I'm supposed to do in my reviews, and skip to the chase, no, I didn't like it. Bad idea, bad script, bad movie.
That's a shame, Brownie. I always like when you surprisingly like a film. You come in here and you remember how you didn't expect to like Mad Max, Fury Road, and then you came in here raving about it, and you were like, oh, it's the best film of the year.
Yeah, I did love Mad Max, but it had some style in it, you know. It had a little thought put into the script, it had a little zazz, but Jurassic World is like a masterclass in how not to make a movie, you know.
Yeah, well, I like things like that. I don't like it when you're disappointed, when you were looking forward to something and then it let you down. That always it disappoints me too. I like seeing you happy, buddy. I really do.
Well, I am going to go see that Brian Wilson movie, you know, with John Cusack and what's his name, Paul Dano. Yeah, that looks like it might be good. So, you know, there's always hope.
All right, so tell us what was so bad about it.
Maybe I'm just getting old, you know, like. I mean, I talk to people who love all these reboots and superhero films. I mean, they love them to death. So it's maybe my standards are too high, you know. Or maybe George and Stephen are right. Maybe the climate of Hollywood studios is just not, you know, won't allow for movies that reach for that little extra something anymore. You know, they that little bit that makes you just forget you're at the movies, you know. Instead, you know, it's just corporate hacks with no imaginations doing focus groups and demographic studies trying to figure out which intellectual property has the highest bullshit to money ratio to get the people to separate themselves from the money in their wallets on collectible cups made of the same grade of petroleum product that the popcorn they're eating's made of, which will later get vomited up into the cinema itself in the perfect metaphor for how the studios distribute this garbage in the first place.
Well, there's no need to hold back. Why don't you take off the kid gloves and tell us what you really think?
Yeah, look, I'm sorry. I get a bit upset because I know it can be better. So why isn't it? Why not?
Yeah, look, I know what you mean. It's been kind of rough. Everything's a rehash and a sequel. You get the occasional surprise like Mad Max, but they're few and far between.
Yeah, I mean, Holmes was pretty great. It's like a masterclass in acting with Ian McKellen for the price of a movie ticket, so...
You want something that somebody put a little thought into. But it's harder and harder to find.
Well, then why don't you bloody make one?
Well, I wasn't saying anyone in particular.
Is that script done yet? What you working on? J Ward, is it?
Yeah, that one's coming closer to completion, actually. I was thinking of going on a scouting trip out to Ararat to see locations and stuff, maybe do some test shots around town.
Well, you know me, buddy. Tell me about it, and I'll be the first in line, opening night, buying me ticket.
I always do my projects eventually, so don't worry about that.
Well, that's very true. I mean, I just want to see you finish that film already so you can fix Hollywood and get rid of all the nonsense.
Well, listen, buddy, what else have you got on the back burner? Are you working on anything? Are you doing any reviews for YouTube coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to review that John Cusack movie, the Brian Wilson one, for YouTube. So I'm tentatively excited about that.
Oh yeah, me and Simon were going to go see that. We were pumped.
Well, the way I see it is, no matter how disillusioned you get, at the end of the day, if you've got a fresh movie ticket in your pocket, there's always hope.
All right, buddy. Well, it's been absolutely fantastic talking to you. I love when you drop by.
Hey? What do you mean drop by? We see each other all the time. We live in the same house.
It's for the show. I'm being the voice of the audience. I gotta help them empathize with that. They don't know we hang out. They don't know that.
Well, it's just Hollywood bullshit then, isn't it? You should just tell them that then.
Hollywood is built on a lot of bullshit, all right? If you don't like it, you...
Well, I don't have time for it. Like Robin Williams, man. I mean, that man pointed out the bullshit when he saw it. I miss him, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully for 28 tonight or 30 tonight or whatever you're calling it, I'll be in a bit better spirits, you know?
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for dropping by.
What, you're kicking me out just like that?
It's the way we do it. We gotta move and shake. We gotta roll. We gotta hit our stride. This thing can only be like an hour long. People don't have that big of an attention span, buddy.
Tell me about it.
All right, you're the best. Gotta go to a commercial.
Oh, jeez Louise, you're such a corporate shill, you know that?
Oh, God, I don't want to open that can of worms. All right, we'll be right back with our next guest, Daniel Fewchuk. We're going to be interviewing him about what he's been up to lately. So stay tuned and try to stomach these god-awful commercials.
Hi, this is Johnny from Johnny's Screw Store, and you gotta come down and see all these fantastic screws. We got all kinds of screws. We got these screws, we got these bigger screws, we got these screws that screw into the other thing. I don't know what those are called, but they're some kind of screw. We got all kinds of screws. We got gold screws, we got brown screws, we got black screws, we got those silver metal screws. You gotta come down and check out these screws. I mean, they're just fantastic screws. I mean, if you don't come down and check out these screws, then screw you, basically, is what I'm saying. Screws, it's all about screws. Come see Johnny's Screws. The end.
Coming through pretty good. I think I'm talking that way, so it's going to be a bit louder that way compared to talking to the front.
All right, well, welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, you've had a lot going on lately, haven't you? I mean, first and foremost, you got married to Kitty, so congratulations.
Thank you.
How did the wedding go?
Was the best, and Kitty's the best. And then when the speeches happened, they became true best. And then when your speech happened, it became true best our sage.
Yeah,
So
it was an okay speech. It was, I liked it.
done and done.
And then how was Japan? You went to Japan for the honeymoon. Was that best?
The honeymoon was the best. We saw basically everything that is Nintendo in Japan and everything that is drift related in Japan, which was the best. Better than best. So what is that? It's best. Japan was the best, yeah.
All right. Did you bring back any souvenirs?
We brought back 7 Nintendo 64 controllers, and they're all the best. And so you just bring them back and, split them on eBay and get some of the green.
You maybe could even spend that green on a green screen if you wanted.
As in hologram, me being a blue-green person, green screen.
Oh, by the way, you want to say hi to Tobias?
How are you, Tobias? Well, okay, he's just disappeared into the wall, into a blue wall, I think. That's really what happened.
Right, and since you got back, have you been shooting anything? What have you been filming? Any cool projects?
Well, we've been shooting some projects. We were working on some big stuff, mostly in Sydney. Some of it in Brisbane, some of it in Melbourne, but Sydney's kind of the place to be for shoots. So I have been shooting a lot with a guy called Tom Judd, and that stuff's okay, but we also shot for Jasper, and that stuff is pretty good. So we shot some Maya stuff and did some photos before for some weddings, and I'm working on another thing which is to do with green screens and holograms, but that's a secret. I can't tell you about that. By the way, how are you?
Pretty awesome. Okay, well, as a Fewchuk, you are a Fewchuk, and Fewchuks are always working on. Every time I talk to one of you guys, you're always working on some crazy, weird hobby or project, whether it's this thing or another thing. What are you really into lately? What are you researching? What kind of weird thing are you doing at the moment?
The thing at the moment is making this concoction of like WD-40 and Sunbright. It's two awesome cleaning products combined, and we think that, you know, you'll be able to clean like the inside of a bike helmet with it, you know, the inside of a microphone for sort of video cameras and stuff. Like, you could pretty much clean the world with this magic concoction which we're going to come up with. So that's all thanks to mostly Jordan, who you viewers might know as this crazy awesome guy, and he loves Sunbright and so do I. So
Right. Well, since you mentioned Jordan, I had a hard time finding guests for the show. He was supposed to be a guest instead of you. He was going to be the guest now.
Instead of me.
Yeah. Well, we just ran into some trouble when we were interviewing potential other guests. It was causing a bit of strife. But you know what? We got a video. We can throw to the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yep, there's the tape.
Hey, Jamo, and listen, I was wondering if you wanted to come to my Tonight Show birthday.
So you want me to come to your birthday?
Yeah, it's going to be great. All my friends are going to be the guests, and I'm going to do an opening monologue and do jokes and little segments and bits, and we'll have guests and
Who are the other guests going to be?
people I know, maybe a couple celebrity surprise guests, and Jordan.
I'm not going to do it if Jordan's involved in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, well, why not?
I'm not a big fan of Jordan.
Well, that's, I mean, we could work around that, or maybe we could do a video segment, or, you don't know, just come, just wait. He doesn't eat cold meat anymore.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way that goes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any plans for the rest of 2015?
Future Wars. That's the plan for 2015. So Future Wars is what we're working on, and I think that it's going to be really epic. I'm going to Hong Kong to work on, you know, my new album in November, so it's going to be me sort of speaking Cantonese at kind of like a wedding gathering, but we'll turn it into like an album, because that's what hip people do. They just go overseas and record albums.
Well, we've actually got Snail Rainbow on the show tonight doing as the musical guest.
Snail Rainbow, okay.
They've got a Chinese song on their album.
Snail Rainbow. Oi!
Maybe we could even put a link.
Right here, there.
Yeah. Just thinking about it is giving you a headache.
Yep, a hollow headache.
Any other projects you're working on?
Car reviews, we might be doing some of that with Jordan. Or they might have already happened by the time you're watching this.
Well, I gotta tell you, that sounds absolutely fantastic. Before we go, I wanted to get 3 top tips from you for cinematographers, filmmakers, and shooters. Just some top tips. What kind of things should they do if they want to be more like you?
Well, number one, the first top tip is not to be at the top. The first top tip is to be at the bottom, because you want to be shooting all your camera shots like low. Get that camera on the floor, like low. The next thing you want is the widest lens. So if you got, you know, a Tokina 11-16, Canon 16 to 35, get that on the widest setting, low and wide. And then number 3, you want to lock that tripod down. I mean, just lock it down. Those are the 3 tips that I have to give. You know, people are all about like the bokeh and stuff and the freelancing and the Philip Bloom with the drones and stuff, but you just want to lock it down, low and wide. Spielberg, Lucas, you got it.
All right, Dan. Well, looks like we're losing the HoloLink connection, so I think it's time to say goodbye. We're losing reception here.
Bye-bye.
Can't quite make that out. Sorry. Huh? Ah, he's gone. All right. Anyway, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. And I can fly higher than an eagle. 'Cause you suit my lubricating needs. WD-40.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. That was Daniel Fuchuk in the last segment. Great guy, good friend. But it's time for the third and final interview with, one might say, the best guest. Look, like I said before, it was hard securing guests for this show, finding people to participate and interact in what I was doing here, especially when they didn't understand it. Was a challenge. So I had to get someone who was A, available, B, super cool and talented, who everybody in the audience wants to listen to on end, and hear their opinions on anything. So it's finding the right guest is hard, and then finding someone to agree is even harder. But I think you'll all agree that this next guest, is probably the biggest and best out of all of them. He's bright, he's very clever, he's very talented, he's what you'd call a genius, if you wanted to use such a word. I think that's a little pretentious, but he might disagree. We can ask him when he comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Nielsen. All right, buddy, so how you doing?
All right, yeah.
Cool beans. Well, what do you got going on lately? What are you up to? What are you doing? What's the 411?
Well, I mean, shouldn't you know?
Well, yeah, I guess I do know. So, but for the sake of the audience, we should probably fill him in anyway.
Well, recently I did the Snail Rainbow album, which I was pretty proud of that when it was done.
Ah, yes, the Snail Rainbow album. We put a lot of work into that.
I'm excited to buy it.
I'll bet you are.
We should both buy it.
We definitely should.
How many people have bought it?
None. Yeah. So, listen, I gotta ask, what's it like turning 29?
Well, definitely starting to feel it. At first you're like, ooh, 29, almost 30, I'm grown up. But things change as you get older. I mean, your body starts wearing out, and you can't do all the things you could when you were younger. And people you respect start passing away. Start to contemplate your own mortality. I mean, what have I done with my life up until this point? I'm sitting here in a room interviewing my toys on a fake Tonight Show so I can get just a little bit of attention or value out of my day. It really makes you wonder, makes you reflect on the life you've lived and say, is this enough? Is this what I wanted to achieve? We're all very fragile
beings, and every step we take, we're just one step closer to the ultimate end. Wow. That's wow. Just putting that right out there for everybody, huh? You're not feeling the same way? Well, I wasn't until you just mentioned it just now. Any girls? No. Any job prospects or? I wouldn't think so. No. Did you see Begita in Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, she died right at the
I know, she died so quickly. I was like, ah.
She was barely in the thing. I mean,
It's like I saw her in Pitch Perfect the other day. I bought a ticket to see Pitch Perfect because she's in it, and it has like a cumulative 3 minutes of screen time of her. Yeah. For those who don't know, by the way, Birgitte Sørensen is a Danish actress who we're both very much in love with. Yes, we both want to marry her. Of course, that would be polygamy. One of us is going to have to choose which one.
well, I'll marry her. I mean, not you.
I'm not having this argument again. Oy, 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 oy. What else you got going on?
Well,
Yeah, cool. Listen, we're out of time. Turns out you're not actually that interesting a guest. I hyped this up too much, but as interesting as you seem from the outside, your tastes are just incredibly mundane, and you are not an good person to talk to. I want you to go away now because I no longer like you.
But
Just go. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, we'll be right back with a performance from Snail Rainbow. Come on back.
Are we still going to Costco? Alright everybody, thanks for tuning in this year for 27 tonight. Eric could say goodbye himself, but he's getting ready. He's in the band, Snail Rainbow. Musical guest is going to play us out tonight, and I'm going to be playing along on my guitar here, because, let you in on a little secret, Eric's no good at playing guitar and singing at the same time. He can do one, he can do the other, but he can't do them at the same time. It's hilarious. sorry. Here they are to play us out. It's Snail Rainbow with Squidgy Balloon.
thanks for watching the show, everybody. You ready, buddy? I'm ready when you are.
Since I was born, I've been told that I was never in tune. Never on time, but I'm always just about to be soon. I couldn't help but avert my gaze from the fear on the ground to the vastness of space. There's no one out there to tell me how I'm never in tune. They told me that space was just empty, I was gonna be doomed. You're a snail who is never in tune. It's not courage if you're not afraid. You have to start from fear if you wanna be brave. I'd rather be scared out there than scared in my room. The difference between a snail and a squidgy balloon is all in your head when you're sailing by the light of the moon. I never thought it would be so strange to be out on the water with nothing to change. So I just relax and think about my squidgy balloon. Good night, everybody. He's not very good.